I'm guessing you are here because you need some hip opening or a lower back massage or just some mega relaxation. And Happy Baby is the perfect pose for you. Welcome back to the Yoga Nomads. I'm Logan Haley. Today we're going into everything you need to know about how to be a happy baby during your yoga practice. So let's just get right into it. I'm starting off not warmed up, same as you, because I want to show you how you can slowly open your hips in this pose and it shouldn't feel forced or uncomfortable, okay? Happy Baby is a restorative pose, and restorative means we just get to chill. I'm so excited to walk you through this. To start, you want a cushiony mat. You can also have a blanket ready if you have a sensitive spine. My mat's pretty cushiony, so I'm good for now. And have some yoga straps handy. You can also use a belt or a string or just any long fabric that might help you to pull your knees closer down to the floor and open up those hips more. So first, you're just gonna lay down flat on your back with your knees bent up. Check that your hips and your sit bones are nice on the mat, and adjust that pelvic tilt so you're not arched like this. You actually want your pelvis to tilt down so the small of your back is flat to the floor, okay? And then you can hug your knees into your chest on a deep exhale. Now optionally clasp your wrists or your elbows and just chill here for a minute as you lower that tailbone back to the floor, breathing and rocking back and forth. Next up, you are going to start bringing those feet towards the ceiling and bend them down so you can reach your hands on the outside of the feet. This is where you can optionally put your peace fingers over your big toes, or you can grab your straps, okay? So because we're starting off with unwarmed up hips, we're gonna use the straps. That's gonna make it nice and easy to open things up and not feel super forced. So I just looped my strap around the bottom of my foot. You can see it's underneath my big toe joint, kind of on the arch. And I'm gonna do that on the other side as well, just to give myself some leverage. So the main advantage of using a strap is if you have tight hips, it just gives you that leverage you need so you don't feel like you're reaching up, okay? Because the number one thing when we're going in a happy baby is we want our spine flat to the ground. So if you aren't flexible enough to reach up and you find yourself doing this instead of bringing your feet towards you, you definitely need a strap. Okay, so I've got the strap looped around the bottom of my feet, and I'm starting to bend my knees towards my chest and widen my feet outward. As I do this, I'm rolling my shoulders back and down so they're staying planted on the floor. And I want to flex my feet, don't point them, flex them so they are pushing up toward the ceiling and creating a little bit of resistance against my hands. So I can adjust my grip on the strap up or down as needed, and on an inhale, kind of lift towards the sky, and on an exhale, start pulling back and down. Imagine your knees moving towards your armpits. But again, you don't want to be lifted up like this. You want your spine laying flat on the mat, and you're using that tension and leverage to bring those knees down. Okay, so just breathe here for a minute. You can already feel that huge opening in the groin. That's a good sign. So when you want to get to the back massage part of the pose, which is one of my favorite parts, you can start rocking back and forth like this. And if you feel your flexibility is already opening up, you can remove those straps and go back to holding the outside of the foot, not the inside, always the outside, okay? And now my fingers are on the bottom of my feet, And instead of shrugging up my shoulders, I'm gonna exhale them down again. Check that my spine is flat on the floor. I can close my eyes and start rocking back and forth in a subtle massaging motion, letting my groin and my inner thighs melt open and bringing those knees towards my armpits, towards the floor. Okay, and as you rock back and forth, you can feel that nice massage on your lower spine. It's a totally free massage, which I love. And just remember that this is supposed to be a happy pose. Babies aren't over here like overthinking, oh my gosh, am I doing it right? Do I have this flexed or anything like that? This is a restorative, playful pose. So you're rocking back and forth. You're closing your eyes. You're just letting loose. And it just feels so good. When you're ready to release, you can let go of your feet or loosen up those straps, and you might feel, a little sore here because you just did some big opening. So you want to be slow as you either move your feet back to a nice wind relieving, hugging them in, or bring your feet back to the ground and let your spine kind of recalibrate, let those hips loosen up, and then you can go again. All right, so hopefully you're already feeling a little happier and looser after that first happy baby. Let's talk about a few of the awesome benefits of this pose. Obviously, it's very root and sacral chakra focused, which is correlated with grounding, creativity, security, as well as sexuality and like a freedom to express your kundalini energy, okay? So this pose strengthens the pelvic floor. It obviously opens up your hips. It massages your low back, and it can improve your sleep. So I love that Happy Baby is named Happy Baby because, like I said, it's like that childlike, wonder, chilling, relaxing energy. And you can think about how a baby would grab their feet and just have a big smile on their face, and they have no limitations to their flexibility. They don't have any self-limiting beliefs. They're just pure. And so I like that this pose channels that energy to give you those mental health benefits like reducing stress, reducing anxiety, improving your sleep, making you feel more relaxed. And then it also gives you those physical benefits of just like helping out your spine, helping your low back, helping open tense hips, and prepare you for other hip opening asanas or help you relax after you just did a really intense sequence. So Happy Baby is a very like beginning of the practice, end of the practice type vibe. Now I want to show you the pose from a few different angles just so we can cover a few common mistakes. So if you actually watch me from this angle, you can see more of the shape you're looking for, okay? So when you're bringing your feet up, you're kind of widening those knees out a little wider than your shoulders, okay? And as I'm pulling down, I'm creating this kind of like perpendicular shape. Ideally, in a full expression, my knees would be in like a 90-degree angle with my quads. So it's okay if you're still like straightened out or you're not quite there, you're using your straps and you're up here, or you're super flexible. Either way, just make sure your knees are wider than your torso, okay? And then in the next common mistake you'll see is some people try to keep their neck at this awkward angle. So we talked about before that we want our pelvis to be adjusted. So we're not like this. We want our pelvis to be rotated down so that our spine is straight. We want to do the same thing with our neck. I know I have a clip in my hair, which I should have removed obviously, but it's fine. You want to make sure your neck is a straight elongation of your spine. So you don't want it kinked like this. You want your chin you also don't want it lifted, okay? You want a slight tuck. So when I move into the pose, I'm gonna slightly tuck my chin. Might give me a little bit of double chin, that's okay. And I'm looking either directly above me or a little bit directly up and forward. So my spine and my neck are straight all the way up to the base of my skull. And that slight chin tuck, can make a really big difference compared to doing this. That does not feel good. Okay, another common mistake you'll see is people forget to press their shoulders down to the mat. And I talked about this a minute ago, but let's cover it a little more detail. If you are having to lift like this, you should use a strap. Just use the tools that are available to you, okay? We don't want you to hurt your upper back while you're trying to relax your low back. That doesn't make any sense. So I can lift up for a minute to get these looped around, okay? And then I wanna make sure I lower my shoulders back and down. This is a really common theme in a lot of yoga poses. Roll those shoulders back and down and feel the shoulder blades anchor to the mat like this, okay? Just do that before you even focus on the feet. Get that spine down and straight, and then you can start opening up. And as you create this leverage, you don't want your feet to pull you up. You want your shoulders and your arms to pull those feet down, okay? So the pose is mostly passive. The main thing you have activated is those arms and slight activation in the shoulder muscles, because this is what's gonna give you more opening. If that's too intense for you, you can try the peace finger option, which is gonna let gravity do more of the work. But either way, even if you let go, your shoulders would be on the ground. All right? And one final mistake that some people make is trying to lift this part of their back up, okay? Once again, we're focused on that long, grounded spine. This is the root and sacral chakra. They're all about grounding. That baby is anchored to the floor. We don't want flying babies. This is just gonna hurt your low back. You wanna be massaging that low back, okay? So if you find yourself lifting up like this, ease off the feet a little bit and anchor your tailbone down, all right? Then pull the knees down towards your armpits and then start rocking. Tailbone is anchored, chin is tucked, shoulders are anchored, okay? Most of our body's on the ground, which is why this is so restorative. We're almost just laying down. So a final tip I would give you is practice happy baby in bed, like in the morning or at night before you go to sleep, and notice how it makes you feel. It is, kind of a slight inversion in a way, because you're laying on your back and you're bringing your feet above your heart, and that's just extremely relaxing. It just feels really nice, and it's a great way to relieve like any early morning tension or let go of tension from the day at night. So this is a great pose to practice in bed, and also at the beginning or end of any yoga sequence. You can follow up with some great hip openers like Balasana, the yogi squat, or a nice pigeon pose. So happy baby was an internal hip rotation focused on those those inner thighs. This is an external hip rotation to target more the outer hip, okay? So any hip opening pose is great to follow up happy baby, but ultimately, I just love to relax in this posture and not think about anything, all right? And as you end it, do a nice hug in, keeping that chin a little more tucked if you want, depending on the angle of your head, and just feeling that release. So from here to the tuck, bringing that tailbone down again, rocking back and forth more. And then you can move into a Shavasana after happy baby for the ultimate release. Thank you so much for joining me on another Yoga Nomads pose guide. We have all the information you need linked below if you want to learn more about this asana, if you want to learn about the best cushiony yoga mats, the best yoga strap to help you get into happy baby, and so much more at theyoganomads.com. Please like and subscribe to our channel and comment below if you have any questions about how to do happy baby or just questions in general about how to be a yoga nomad. Namaste.